Well, back to Australia now, and the federal government finally has enough support for a bill that's crucial to the creation of the National Broadband Network. Tonight, Family First Senator Steve Fielding has declared he'll support legislation to split up Telstra's retail and wholesale arms. The Senate is set to vote on the bill tomorrow before Parliament rises for the year, but the opposition hasn't ruled out trying to delay the final vote. From Canberra, Susan McDonald reports.
In this new era of sunshine politics,
thank you for joining us from the shade of the side of the courtyard.
The pressure's always on for greater transparency.
The government today is releasing an important document to facilitate the passing of the Telecommunications Structural Separation Bill in the Senate.
After repeated refusals to release the 400-page business case for its broadband network, the government relented to demands from crossbench senators and produced a 36-page summary.
Of course it's a compromise, and I think the breakthrough came after the Prime Minister's intervention in this.
We've determined that it is possible to publicly release carefully selected materials which answer some of their key questions.
There's little new information to be found, but the document does show the NBN will cost $35.7 billion, far less than the previous price tag of $43 billion.
It confirms that the NBN will be built on a financially viable basis with affordable prices for customers.
To clinch Nick Xenophon's support for the telco bill, the government also agreed to a new parliamentary committee to oversee the NBN's 8-year rollout, with the Productivity Commission in an advisory role.
I think you could say it was a close-run thing, but, to quote the bard, all's well that ends well.
Steve Fielding was the last one to fall. He too has now offered his support, paving the way for the bill's passage.
Don't give us any more hypocrisy.
But a vote hasn't happened as soon as the government hoped. It tried to extend sitting hours into the night.
On the day that they claim should be designated as Go Home on Time Day, they have voted the gag to ensure that we don't get home on time today.
But the government didn't have enough senators in the chamber to have its way.
The Senate do now adjourn.
The Prime Minister didn't wait for the final vote to trumpet her achievement.
This is the day, this is the Parliament, this is the time to deliver that structural reform.
In question time, there was no reprieve from the opposition's attacks.
In the light of that backdown, why won't she agree to ask the Productivity Commission to advise on the fundamental question, which is whether the $43 billion NBN is the most cost-effective way of delivering affordable broadband to all Australians?
Simply opposing, being negative, stopping at every point. Get on the bus. Come along with us.
Breakthrough or back down. Agreement may not have come on the government's terms, but it is before its deadline, a day before Parliament is due to rise for the year, and exactly 3 years since Labor came to power. The anniversary is a milestone the opposition, rather than the government, is keen to mark.
On the third anniversary of the election of the Rudd government, I regret to say that this has been possibly the most disappointing government in Australia's history.
I didn't realise when I came to the Parliament today that the opposition had been replaced by a history club. Some of us are interested in the nation's future, and we'll get on with debating that future.
And the government wants the Senate to get on with debating the telco bill. Susan McDonald, Lateline.